So good morning. I would like to call this meeting of the House and Labor Industry Committee to order. Jonathan, please take the roll.
Dawkins,
Here.
Brennan, Donahue, Gerall,
Here by designation.
Gogenauer, Green, Haddock,
Here by designation.
Inglis,
Here by designation.
Kincaid,
Here by designation.
Krajewski,
Here by designation.
Mirsky, O'Mara,
Here by designation.
Scott,
Here by designation.
Young, James,
Present.
Anderson,
By designation.
Berger,
By designation.
Bernstein,
By designation.
Cooper, Diorsi, Fink,
By designation.
Gleim, Jones,
By designation.
Rosal, Reichert, Rossi.
By
By designation.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. And before we get started in today's business, I would like to welcome our new chairman, Lee James. And if you want to say a few words before we get started.
I do. Thank you for the welcome, Mr. Chairman. I look forward to doing this. I spent 42 years in private enterprises, but that was 13 years ago, so I may have a small learning curve, but I'm glad to be here.
Thank you very much. With that, we want to start, call up House Bill 2189, printers number 2845. I introduce myself. Ryan, please explain the bill.
House Bill 2189, printers number 2845, amends the Minimum Wage Act to gradually increase the statewide minimum wage to $15 an hour by January 1st, 2029, and require an annual cost of living adjustment to the minimum wage every year thereafter. Additionally, House Bill 2189 increases the tip minimum wage to 60% of the statewide minimum wage.
Thank you. The question is, will this committee report the bill? We have a few handwritten amendments here. First one's going to be offered by Chairman James. We'll be offering the typewritten amendment number 1. John, please explain the amendment.
Typewritten amendment by Chairman James allows an employee under age 18 to be paid a wage not less than the federal minimum wage. An employer would not be allowed to displace existing workers.
Thank you. The question is, will the committee agree to the amendment? I now recognize Chair James for any comments on the typewritten amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple quick comments. The intention of this amendment is to ensure that minors entering the workforce will not be priced out of the job market by a government mandate. Minors with few job skills trying to get their first experience in the workforce are going to be the most heavily impacted. And my amendment will make sure the unskilled minors attempting to get into the workforce will still get opportunities.
Thank you. Any other member wants like to be recognized for comment? Representative Green. Not on the amendment, on the bill? Okay. So what I would add to this particular amendment is that, especially in this particular time, people who are entering into the workforce, bills do not reflect age. Meaning, if I have a rent due, that rent is the same amount that's due for an 18-year-old that it is for a 21-year-old. If I go into the military, I do not get paid less if I'm 18 when I actually get drafted into the military or entered into the military. Therefore, I do not believe we should have two different pay scales as it relates to folks who are 18 versus folks who are 21. And for those reasons, I oppose this amendment. Jonathan, please call the roll.
Dawkins,
No.
Brennan, Donahue, Gerall,
No, and all the remaining Democrats will be voting in the negative.
James,
Yes.
Anderson,
By designation, yes.
Berger,
By designation, yes.
Bernstein,
By designation, yes.
Cooper, Diorsi, Fink, Gleim, Jones,
By designation, yes.
Rosal, Reichert, Rossi.
By designation, yes.
The amendment fails.
Thank you. The amendment opposed have failed. Next amendment we have is by Representative Gleim. Will be offering a typewritten amendment number 2. John, please explain the amendment.
typewritten amendment by Representative Lime expands the training wage provisions in Section 4E of the Act to workers of all ages and for a period of 90 days.
Thank you. The question is, will the committee agree to the amendment? I now recognize Chairman James for comment.
No comment.
Thank you. I now Representative Glenn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anybody in the construction business especially knows, whether you're union or non-union, that when you hire an employee who says that they can operate a piece of equipment, you have to really test and make sure that that person can operate that piece of equipment. It has been standard in the industry to have a 90-day rule in HR to make sure that they are highly qualified for the position that they are applying for, and therefore allow the employer to determine what the entrance pay will be for that 90 days. So pretty much standard in the industry. This is an amendment that allows them to continue that, and I urge my colleagues to vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member would like to be recognized on the amendment? Seeing none, I would urge members to oppose this amendment. Jonathan, please take the roll.
Dawkins?
No.
Brennan? No. Donahue? No. Gerald?
Designation no, and remaining Democrats will be voting in the negative.
James?
Yes.
Anderson?
By designation, yes.
Barger?
By designation, yes.
Bernstein?
Designation, yes.
Cooper?
Yes.
Diorsi? Yes. Fink?
Yes.
Gleim?
Yes.
Jones?
By designation, yes.
Rossel?
Yes.
Reichard?
Yes.
Rossi?
By designation, yes.
The amendment fails.
Thank you. The typewritten amendment number 2 is not agreed to. We now move on to the bill, House Bill 2189. Is there any comments? I recognize Chairman James.
Just me? Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking for others. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Couple quick comments regarding minimum wage. It being a starting point, I think everyone understands that new workers who have limited job skills, if any, and still need an opportunity to become employed. It was never intended to be a living wage, a lifetime wage. Also, the Independent Fiscal Office and the NFIB, in a previous effort to do the job this bill is intending to do, have studies pointing to elimination of many, many jobs in the thousands. This is a fairly aggressive attempt to regulate minimum wage, and it's hard to tell exactly what the full range of consequences might be. Consumers are going to pay for this, of course. Prices for food and services are estimated to go up. Consumers make financial decisions by what's in their wallet, and with fewer nights out, I believe the tips will drop.
Thank you. Representative Green.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When looking at economic conditions that face the constituents that I serve, we see this as an economic and social crisis that we're in. The conception may be to believe what I say and not what I see or not what I hear is an incorrect misconception. It is a misconception. When we look at the constituents that I represent in Philadelphia, I get stories such as, I can't pay my gas bill. I can't pay my electric bill. I'm struggling to put food on the table. I'm struggling to pay my rent and my mortgage. Everything has increased except my paycheck. To say that we start at $11 an hour when every state that borders Pennsylvania has a higher minimum wage is ridiculous at this point. 3 years ago, it was said that we're going to reach $15 in 2026. It is 2026, and we remain at $7.25. 3 years from now, it'll be 2029, and you're saying again, we'll be at $15 an hour. What we need to do is stop kicking the proverbial language of dismay and dishonesty down the road. This is an economic and social injustice to tell people to live where they can't afford to live, to buy food where they can't afford to buy food, to pay utility, increasing in utility rates where they can't afford to pay the bills. And then they're not eligible for social subsidies. So, you know, here we go again with having this discussion about minimum wage that's not real and not true because no one is taking it seriously. Well, you know what? I am taking it seriously. And we need to stop this as representatives that say we're here to represent our constituents because we're not representing our constituents. So since I have the mic, I would like to say this to the constituents that we represent. If the people who you have sent here are not representing your interests, then perhaps you should find someone else to do so. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative. Representative Glod.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are many states in the United States that don't have a minimum wage at all, especially in the South, because they know that economic forces of supply and demand take care of those minimum wage forces. In my district, I can't find anyone that is paid minimum wage except on a college campus. That is it. Because the market has taken care of those forces. Any employee at Target in my area, at any of the entry-level positions, are not getting paid our state's minimum wage. So the only thing that I have heard are from my businesses that say that if we increase this minimum wage, that they will then be forced to pass through that cost onto the consumer who is already stretched right now, who can't pay their electric, who is having a hard time paying their bills, just like my colleague said. So now when they go out to eat, when they go to do other things, those forces, those economic forces, will increase their costs, not lower them. And we all know why we're doing this bill right now, because the governor has his address coming up here in a few hours, and he's going to be talking about this. So we had to get this out of committee. But I am just telling you that this will not go well in Pennsylvania. Our economy in Pennsylvania is not strong enough for this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other member like to be recognized? Well, seeing none, I would like to make a few comments. It's very interesting when I hear year after year this idea that businesses are going to run for the hills if they ever had to pay their workers a fair wage. We've heard this misleading line over and over and over and over, and we have proven that that line was in fact misleading during COVID. Because I recall, and I know my memory is not the strongest, but a few years ago, I remember all the big box stores threatening to leave the state when we had a minimum wage bill in 2019, right before COVID. We can't afford to pay workers $15 because we will shut our doors and we will pack up and we'll go to Ohio or we go to another neighboring state. COVID hit. By the time we hit July, November that year in 2020, going into 21, they were begging workers to come work for $17 an hour. Begging. All those big box stores are over the minimum wage that they claimed was going to put them out of business. It's long past time that we start choosing people over profits. I don't know who sent folks into this building to be elected. I don't think it was a CEO from any one of these companies. It was the actual people. But we somehow forgot to represent the people. Because every time I hear anyone advocating, they're advocating for big business. I never hear anyone advocating for the small person. I remember once upon a time as Americans, it was love thee neighbor. We talk about it may not be folks in my neighborhood who are not being paid the minimum wage, but there's some folks in Pennsylvania that are. So when are we going to stand united as Americans and say, I'm going to put up a vote, not maybe for my constituents, but for those in Pennsylvania who are still struggling? I thought the collective of us was what we were supposed to be doing here in this building. But what I hear all the time is the same old story. We have already passed the minimum wage bill this cycle. So the idea that we need another one because the governor is making an announcement is ridiculous because we already have one. You know where that bill sits? In the Senate, where all of the good bills that we send over there sit. Because again, the House has chosen to lead while we wait for our Senate partners to do the same. So it's long past time for us to move a minimum wage bill. Do I believe this is the product that we should have? Absolutely not. I think Representative Green made it very clear. 3 years ago, we were promised 15. And 3 years later, we're still at 7.25. We know what we need to do, and it's long past time for us to do it. It is not a partisan issue. It has never been, in my opinion. Because last I checked, when you don't have enough money to put food on the table, no one's asking you for your voter registration card to figure out if you're an R or D or an I, if they need to give you some type of store credit to make sure you can feed your family. We should stop looking through those lenses of partisanship. This is an economic driver. I recall in the beginning of this year, we had a new administration promise that they were going to overnight change the reality for many folks in America. Fast forward, that has not happened because talk is cheap. And at some point, we got to lead. Jonathan, take the roll.
Dawkins,
Yes.
Brennan, Donahue, Gerald,
Yes by designation.
Gokenhour, Green, Haddock,
Yes by designation.
Ingles,
Yes by designation.
Kincaid,
Yes by designation.
Krajewski,
Yes by designation.
Mursky,
Yes by designation.
O'Mara,
Yes by designation.
Scott,
Yes by designation.
Young.
Yes by designation. Oh, she here. I'm sorry, I was on a roll.
James, Anderson,
No by designation.
Berger,
Designation, no.
Bernstein,
Designation, no.
Cooper, Diorsi, Fink, Gleim, Jones,
Designation, no.
Rosel, Reichard, Rossi.
Designation, no.
The bill passes as committed.
Thank you very much. House Bill 2189 is favorably reported as committed. Seeing no other business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.